The Great Wildebeest Migration is considered the eighth wonder of the world. It is an annual movement by millions of wildebeest, accompanied by large herds of zebra, topi, and gazelle. The migration doesn't operate on a set schedule as it is driven by the rains and green grass. So when rains are unpredictable, it might not occur. The migration starts from Serengeti to the Mara around mid-June, crossing the Sand River. After a month, the herds cross the Mara River into the Triangle and usually return back to Serengeti by the end of September. In 2020, the pattern was all over the place, but with luck, we got to see them crossing the Mara River. Before the migration, vultures congregated around the river, waiting for free meals. The huge herds were waiting on the banks of the river, and all it took was one brave wildebeest to jump in the river, and everyone follows. The wildebeest were nervous and could sense that danger was lurking in the water, and they all started to run back. Confusion was everywhere, and we thought that the migration wasn't going to happen. The animals tried to climb the bank to escape the hidden danger, but they couldn't and were stuck. More and more wildebeest continued to enter the river. But finally, some brave beasts decided to continue, and the floodgates opened. First of all, why did the herds come back from the Greater Mara and Triangle? It hadn't been raining in Serengeti for a while, so the grass was dry. But on the other side in Masai Mara, it had been raining a lot. Therefore, the grass was super green. So, the huge herds of wildebeest decided to cross the river again to eat the fresh grass on the other side. The migration carried on for at least 3 hours. The wildebeest just kept on coming. But we never got bored one single bit because it was so dramatic. The banks of the Mara River were nearly 30 feet in height, so when the wildebeest jumped into the river, sometimes they didn't land safely and some broke their bones. Our guide said that more than 50,000 wildebeest crossed the river during the span of 3 hours. After crossing, the wildebeest made their way to the green pastures of the Mara, with the sunlight glistening off their wet backs. The wildebeest happy with their fresh grass, the tourists satisfied with watching the migration, and the scavengers delighted with the free food. Another exciting day comes to an end in Masai Mara.